Tonight on News 13.
A young student's death causes concern in the community. What the specialists have to say. I'll have that story.
It's budget talk season here in Luzerne County, and taxpayers will either have to see an 8% increase in their property taxes, or the county will have to lay off 200 employees. I'll have that story.
Blue Mountain School District wants to shut down one of their buildings due to budget cuts. I'll have that story coming up.
This is News 13 Now.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to News 13 Now. I'm Kathy Bazinski. It's a devastating tragedy that has sparked concern among parents of students in one Hazleton area school. A little girl who was a student there died after developing meningitis. As Christina Papa explains, while there is cause for concern, both the district and doctors say parents shouldn't be alarmed.
She was a wonderful child, a joy to be around, really had a knack for uplifting everyone's spirits.
Earlier this week, 6-year-old Jayla Marie De Jesus from West Hazleton passed away suddenly in Lehigh Valley Hospital after battling pneumococcal meningitis for 4 days.
Meningitis basically is an inflammatory disease of the tissues around the brain and the spinal cord.
Pediatrician Dr. Hytham Shador says the bacterial infection should be considered a medical emergency and could be life-threatening if it's not treated in time.
The onset of symptoms is acute.
Symptoms can include fever, headaches, confusion, loss of appetite, vomiting, and irritability. And patients who do survive could have long-term complications. The bacteria that infected Jayla is a common strain found in healthy people. It can cause ear or sinus infections if it travels throughout the body. For most people, meningitis can be treated with antibiotics.
Meningitis generally is a treatable disease if you start the treatment as soon as possible.
The recent outbreak of meningitis at Princeton University in New Jersey was caused by a different strain of bacteria that can be spread from coughing, sneezing, and sharing food. Just weeks before she passed, Jayla was a student right here at West Hazleton Elementary School, but now the superintendent, Dr. Antonelli, says her condition should not be considered a community health concern. Dr. Antonelli told News 13 today the Department of Health has confirmed the strain of meningitis does not require the school to notify families or recommend treatment.
It was not that strain of meningitis.
Still, Dr. Shador says the best way to prevent meningitis, make sure you and your family are up to date on your vaccinations.
Everyone really loved her, and she will be sadly missed.
Christina Papa, News 13, Greater Hazleton.
Residents who aren't feeling well and require immediate care but don't want to wait in the emergency room will have another option within a few weeks in Greater Hazleton. Geisinger Healthcare is opening a new walk-in clinic in the West Hazleton Plaza near Staples. The clinic will open December 2nd. Last year, Geisinger announced it would open as many as 25 CareWorks health clinics all around the state. About 100 new jobs would be created by those openings. The clinics won't require an appointment and are open 7 days a week. One of the key reasons for developing the walk-in care service is to help decrease overcrowding in local emergency rooms.
They're obviously conveniently located, and they involve only a short wait time. They're open evenings and weekends, and most of all, they're affordable. So folks that, may not have insurance, there's a flat rate that they can go in there. Or if you do have insurance, of course, it's even a lower copay than if you went to the emergency department. So this is an attractive clinic that folks can get in and get out of, especially if it's at night or on the weekends when their doctor's offices aren't open.
You don't have to be a Geisinger patient to get help at the new location. CareWorks takes all insurances. For more info about the clinic, check out the website at the bottom of your screen. Well, dozens of Luzerne County residents frustrated by a proposed tax increase and service cuts showed up at last night's County Council budget session. As Matthew Petrillo tells us, the county says if taxes don't go up, hundreds of employees will get laid off.
That's $9,000 a month. $9,000 a month. That's crazy.
Luzerne County Council took a verbal beating from residents at Monday night's budget battle.
Here they're supposed to take care of these things as they arrive.
It's hearing 2 of 4, and County Council must either raise property taxes by 8% or lay off 200 employees.
I don't really believe they should be able to do either one.
Angelo Salerno has worked as a machine operator for the county's roads and bridges for almost a decade. He says while he doesn't know what the answer is, he doesn't want to see anyone lose their job.
They play God with our lives, is what they're doing.
The 2014 budget includes a gap of $2.4 million, a figure that's been downsized from recent estimates. though those 200 jobs still remain on the line.
Well, I think the tax increase is probably the only way we're going to save most of those positions.
County Councilman Stephen Urban says the 200 people that could be laid off could be an overestimate to push council members to vote for the tax increase.
No, I'm not supporting any type of tax increase at this point in time, nor will I support one in the future as long as I'm on this council, because I believe there is a lot of so-called fluff in the budget at this point in time.
Former County Controller Walter Griffith says he's been trying to meet with council for weeks to go over the budget, saying the 3 minutes he gets during public comments isn't enough time. But during his comment Monday night, he told council the current budget has about $4 million of fluff.
The problem is they don't even know what the facts are because they've never read the documents. They don't read the documents. They just take whatever somebody tells them as gospel instead of reading it for themselves.
Budget talks will continue here at the Luzerne County Courthouse Tuesday night. Matthew Petrillo, News 13, Wilkes-Barre.
It appears there could be recounts in 2 extremely close races in Schuylkill County in this month's general election. Voters have filed petitions in the Schuylkill County Court asking for a recount in the race for district attorney, where certified totals show that Republican Christine Hallman defeated Democratic incumbent Karen Burns-Noon by just 73 votes. The petition indicates that Hallman's slim margin of victory should trigger an automatic recount and alleges there was an error in about 1,600 absentee ballots in the county, which could affect the outcome. In the other challenge, Republican Dennis Weissner is calling for a recount in the race for Illinois City Mayor, where he trails incumbent Democrat Nancy Petrich by only 3 votes. Weissner is charging that fraud or errors may have occurred in the calculation of votes. Even if he wins, he may not be able to assume the office of mayor. Weissner pleaded guilty to a felony charge back in 1972, which under state law means he can't hold elected office. Plenty of opinions about a proposed school closing in Schuylkill County. The Blue Mountain School District could close an elementary center to save some money, but as Samantha Galvez tells us, some parents believe the closing in Cressona would only be a temporary fix.
And this is just a short-term fix.
Lynn Olsch is one of the many parents who are concerned about the future of their child's education at Cressona Elementary School. But the question on everyone's mind still remains, how will shutting down the school building fix their huge debt problem? Many parents are concerned that shutting down the school and splitting the grades between 2 buildings will only create larger class sizes and a longer travel time to and from school.
I do believe that we will maintain this class size that we have now. There will be some changes in transportation routes, and there will be some restructuring in the school district.
So, problem solved, right? Unfortunately, many parents feel that even with a change this big, the impact will only be temporary.
This has happened before. Cressona has closed prior, many years ago. So it's just, I feel like we're just going in a circle.
By making this change, officials say the district could save over $250,000, even though they are facing a deficit of over $1 million for the next school year. And while the school board says they've got the kids' best interests at heart, many parents feel that it's a battle between money and the value of education.
They spend so much money on one building, and now we're in a hole, and they don't know what to do, and I don't even know where to go at this point.
All in all, this is one school district, and we educate all the kids we have, and I think the quality of education will continue.
On the other hand, parent Tara Robinson says the people who do live further away in Wayne Township could have chosen another district to attend school, and that they knew the commute was inevitable once their kids reached middle school.
You could have chose Pottsville, you could have chose Schuylkill Haven, you could have chose any other district, but you knew, and you chose this one.
She says the key to balancing the added travel time is good parenting and time management.
We're making it better and saving money. So if that $253,000 is just a drop in the bucket, I'm willing to take that drop in the bucket. It's about the community and the community as a whole.
As it stands now, a decision has yet to be made. Samantha Galvez, News 13, Cressona.
Still ahead on News 13 now, we've got some sunny and mild November days, but really cold nights this week. We'll tell you all about it in News 13 weather. But first,
if Pennsylvania doesn't pass a transportation bill soon, taxpayers will be paying for it another way. I'll have that story coming up.
You're watching News 13 now. Local and loving it.
well, if you travel the highways in Pennsylvania, you know our roads are in pretty rough shape. Funding for upkeep has hit a political roadblock in Harrisburg, and the legislature still has to come up with some way to maintain them. But as Matthew Petrillo tells us, taxpayers are still paying big bucks as the state's roads and bridges remain in disrepair.
Now, I've heard a lot of people say, maybe let's just kick the can down the road. Well, it's pretty hard for a can to go down a road that's broken.
Governor Tom Corbett urged House members Monday to put aside party lines and pass a transportation funding bill to fix the aging infrastructure throughout the state. The impact of Pennsylvania's dilapidated roads and bridges can be felt right here in Cressona.
Why? Why can't we get some funding and get these bridges fixed?
Tom Coons is CEO of Northeast Pre-Stressed Products. The business transports oversized material, like the very beams that are used to make bridges. But he says some bridges around the state are in such poor condition they can't handle the heavy load. He says PennDOT often forces them to go on longer routes that just adds in cost. So typically this would cost about $7,000 to transport.
Correct. That's about what it'll cost to get it down there. However, because of the situation with the detour, it's going to cost an extra $2,000 more.
That adds up quickly. An extra $2,000 a beam times 120 beams is $250,000 more PennDOT and your tax dollars will have to shell out. Pennsylvania's deficit stands at about $3.5 billion and incurs an additional $1 million in fees every day. And though a transportation bill is expensive, lawmakers say if it's not passed soon, those numbers will only increase.
We're spending that money anyway by goods and services not being able to get to market.
State lawmakers now have to decide to fund the bill by either increasing prices at the pump, raising driving registration fees, or finding other revenue sources. If it doesn't happen, Coons says, moving material for PennDOT will only get more expensive.
This is only one project of many projects in the last year that we have bid in the state of Pennsylvania that ultimately are going to cost the taxpayers more money.
Matthew Petrillo, News 13, Cressona.
Time now for News 13 weather.
And in tonight's weather shot, we are local and loving it right in downtown Hazleton, where the guys at the Public Works Department were busy today putting the decorations on the big Christmas tree in front of City Hall. Official tree lighting coming up the Sunday after Thanksgiving. Checking the National Weather Service radar, there was talk of some sprinkles, but it appears they're staying pretty much to our north. Next chance for a stray sprinkle or maybe even a flurry coming up on Thursday, but not so much. Here's News 13 weather from the National Weather Service for Greater Hazleton. For tonight, it'll be clear and it's going to be cold with a low down to 22 degrees. And for Wednesday, sunny, high near 43. Partly cloudy and cold again at night with a low around 26. And for Thursday, partly sunny, a high up to 44. There will be a chance of sprinkles, maybe some flurries at night, but just a smattering here and there. Low getting down to about 36 degrees. For Friday, chance of morning rain and some snow showers early on, then turning to a chance of just rain showers with a high climbing to 46. Chance of showers at night with a low down to 37. And for Saturday, cloudy with rain and snow showers likely, a high up to 41 degrees. Heading to Schuylkill County for tonight, mostly clear and cold with a low around 25. And for Wednesday, sunny with a high near 44 degrees. It's going to be partly cloudy and it'll be cold at night with a low back down to the 20s, around 28. Thursday, partly sunny with a high up to 46. Mostly cloudy at night with a low around 33. For Friday, chance of some afternoon showers with a high near 48 degrees. Chance of showers will continue at night with a low down to 35. And for Saturday, it's going to be cloudy with the chance of showers, with the high getting up to 46 degrees. Well, community business leaders welcome the owners of a family-run diner to the area during the restaurant's grand opening today in Hazleton. And with that, the Plaza Diner, located inside Terrace Plaza in Hazleton, officially open for business. The family-run diner is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The large menu has lots of Greek cuisine and everyday diner specials. New space is seating for big parties and for small events. And after the ribbon cutting, business leaders got to sit down with the Mentasas family for a bite to eat.
I think they're going to do very well here. I wish them lots of luck.
We like it. We really do. I've had breakfast here, lunch here. The salad bar is fantastic. The soups are amazing. The cream of chicken is absolutely my favorite.
My dad works in the back. He does all the cooking and the ordering and all of that fun stuff. And my mom does more of the managing in the front with my brother. And I get to come and visit and do all the fun stuff. A lot of familiar faces coming in and saying hi. And they remember me when I was young and stuff. So it's nice.
And the Plaza Diner will continue with their grand opening event Wednesday and Thursday for the public. They will be having plenty of special offers and discounts. Let's check the winning Midday Lottery numbers. Good luck if you played. The Daily 047, Big 4 4239, Quinto 07924, and the Treasure Hunt 1 9 13 19 24. Hope you won.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's social news. First tonight, happy birthday to John Pavick. This wish comes from your family, Mom, Patty, Pete, Rosemary, and Pop in heaven. Tonight's Talk of the Town report, the Greater Hazleton 2014 Relay for Life kickoff will be held Wednesday, November 20th at Capriotti's Catering. Come and learn how you can be a part of the 2014 Relay for Life. The event starts at 6:30. For more information, please call 570-956-0460. And finally, the American Cancer Society will be holding a Look Good, Feel Better program Monday, December 2nd at the Cancer Treatment Center of Hazleton. Look Good, Feel Better teaches women with cancer how to deal with some of the side effects. For more information, please call them 1-800-227-2345. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Adam B. Saminsky of Mountaintop. Mass is Thursday at 10 a.m. in the St. Jude Parish. Friends may call Wednesday from 6 to 9 p.m. from the Joseph A. Moran Funeral Home. Gladys Loss Sherman, formerly of Hazleton. Services will be held in Pennsylvania in the spring. Deborah J. Ariema of Hazel Township. Funeral is Friday at 2 p.m. from the Joseph B. Conahan Funeral Home. Friends may call from 1 to 2 p.m. Francis W. Fritz Jarzinko of Lost Creek. The Lukowitz-Orovitz-Fell Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. Nancy Benninger Sachs of Lewisburg. Funeral is Friday at 10:30 a.m. at the Faith Lutheran Church. Friends may call Friday from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. The Conrath Grenoble Funeral Home is assisting the family with the arrangements. Albert Thomas Jr. of Gilberton. Services will be private and at the convenience of the family from the Louis D. Truskowski Funeral Home. Geneva Hitcho, formerly of Hazleton. Funeral is Friday at 10 a.m. in the parish of St. Cyril Methodius at the Church of St. Joseph. Friends may call Friday from 9 to 10 a.m. Arrangements are under the direction of the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. Thomas Tomaszewski of Milnesville. Funeral is Friday at 9:30 a.m. from the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. Friends may call Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. And Joseph J. Bezzosi of Hazleton. Funeral is Thursday at 10 a.m. from the parish of St. Cyril Methodius at the Church of St. Joseph. Friends may call at the church Thursday from 9 to 10 a.m. Arrangements are under the direction of the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home.
This is News 13 Sports.
Well, we're more than halfway through the National Football League season, and so by now you can start seeing a little bit of separation between the people who legitimately have a chance to make it to the playoffs and those that don't. Two of the teams that certainly do met last night in Monday Night Football. It was one of the better Monday night encounters of the entire season, and when it was all said and done, it was the host Carolina Panthers who came away with the win. Helped out a little bit by a controversial call, we have to point out, but nevertheless, the Panthers come away with the win over the Patriots as Cam Newton, forget referees, Cam Newton came through big time, particularly if you watched how many third down conversions he came up with, and the Panthers are going to be a force to be reckoned with. If you're not sold on that, consider they just beat in back-to-back weeks two quality teams, San Francisco and New England. And speaking of New England, let's take a look at the standings as of right now. You see the Patriots, even with the loss, have a comfortable two-game lead over both the Jets in Miami and Buffalo. Well, I just don't think that's happening this year. And the Jets, well, as we said, they win one, lose one. They better hope that holds true this week. They got a tough one. They're on the road in Baltimore. And the defending Super Bowl champs, well, they're struggling a little bit as well. You can see they are in a three-way tie for second place with Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Cincinnati right now is the upper hand by 2 games, but it seems there's an awful lot of parity in the National Football League this year. So I'm not sure you count any of those teams out as of right now. I don't think the Browns are going to be in the mix, but hey, they got the same record as Pittsburgh and Baltimore, so you never know. What used to be the beasts of the East are no longer. The NFC East, far from the best conference. Matter of fact, a very mediocre one, as you see. The Eagles right now have the half-game lead over Dallas. They have a game-and-a-half lead over the Giants. That will all change. The half will go away because the Eagles have the bye, and the Giants and Dallas play each other this weekend in New York City. So we'll wait and see. The Redskins last year were 3-6 and then ran the table to make the playoffs. They're 3-7. If they run the table now, it still leaves them at 9-7. I don't think this team's running the table. Just looking like a different Washington team right now. And if you notice, the teams that everybody are talking about aren't in those 3 divisions. We're referring to Seattle, Denver, Kansas City, New Orleans. So keep your eyes focused. We'll wait and see. But as we said, as you get to late November, well, you're down to the final 6 games. We'll see how it all shakes out. Didn't shake out real well for the 76ers last night. They get upended by the Dallas Mavericks. Evan Turner, 26 points, but not enough. The Pittsburgh Penguins skated to a 3-1 win over the Ducks. As far as the pro schedule today, the New York Knicks go hobbling into Detroit. They just have not been good in their first dozen games this year. Neither has their counterparts, the Brooklyn Nets, as a matter of fact. The National Hockey League, the Islanders skate in Toronto. Ottawa comes to Philadelphia. And if you're a Flyer fan, that's good news because the last place Flyers, well, that was one of their few wins this year against Ottawa last week. So we'll see if they can turn the trick again. And the Blue Shirts skating at home in the Garden. They'll take on the Boston Bruins.
Well, we have some stirring marches. We have some brass brilliance. You name it. You're going to have it this weekend during this weekend's offering from the Hazleton Concert Series. For almost 200 years now, the Allentown Band has been keeping the tradition of the 19th century concert band alive. And our good friend Amelia Bergeron joins us now in the studio to tell us all about the Allentown Band. Now, they're right down the road. You would think we would know all about these guys, but tell us about the Allentown Band.
Isn't that true? Well, I must tell you, we had them last year as one of our performances, and I think it was our most popular performance. Everyone leaving the venue kept saying, you've got to get them back, you have to get them back, you have to get them back. And normally we don't do this. We wait 4 or 5 years before we have a return engagement.
But by popular demand.
But by popular demand, we got them back, and we got them back for a Christmas concert. Now, the Allentown Band is the oldest touring concert band in the United States. They originated in 1828, and they have been constantly going. They performed all over the United States, in Europe. They've also had 2 PBS specials, and their recordings are everywhere throughout the world. So they're going to present a Christmas concert for us. Not just the standard Christmas carols that you hear. There'll be some familiar classical pieces and some not so familiar. So you're going to be educated.
It sounds like it's going to be a great
You're
thing.
going to be hearing the Nutcracker Suite by Tchaikovsky. You're going to hear French carol. You're going to hear a standard like O Holy Night. So it's going to be a very diverse program. Also, there will be a vocalist, and it's the same one that they had last year, so everyone knows the type of voice this man has.
And the fascinating thing is these are not full-time just in the orchestra. These people have day gigs.
That's correct. And how it all got started is that a group of people from Allentown were members of the original John Philip Sousa Band, and then they went to Allentown to start their own. And Albertus Meyer, who was the cornet soloist for Sousa, was the original director, and he directed the band for 50 years. And now it is being directed by Ronald Dempke.
And it's going to be a wonderful evening of fun and great music. And it is the Allentown Band this Friday, November 22nd, 7:30 p.m., Hazleton Area High School Auditorium. And guess what? Amelia never comes empty-handed. Right now, we have 2 free tickets to go and see the Allentown Band. We are going to give them away to caller number 13. Dial 570-459-9813 right now. And good luck. And Amelia, thank you so much, and enjoy the Allentown Band this weekend.
Thank you, and Merry Christmas as we initiate the season.
Let's start the season right. Thank you so much. Same to you. And plenty more news and information headed your way on News 13 now. More on the controversy surrounding a proposed school closing in one part of Schuylkill County. That story and much more news when the 13 crew comes right back.